Hey, everybody out there listening. This is Denny, if you couldn't tell already. The reason that I'm putting this in here is kind of embarrassing a little bit. I lost half of the episode. And what had happened was apparently the recorder did not save half of it. It stops like 15, 20 minutes in and goes blank, and I can't recover it because it never saved it. Which sucks because we got into some pretty cool topics that I think you would have enjoyed, but this stuff does happen, and we're still kind of learning how to get good at this, you know what I mean? But I wanted to throw this in there just because something really interesting did happen, and we do talk about it in the beginning of this episode, so I want to let you guys hear that, and it's really, really cool. On another note, some of you fans messaged us on the Facebook and said, hey, you guys, there's a Bigfoot convention or presentation happening in Boone County on Sunday. Well, guess what? We showed up. And would like to tell you a little bit about that and my impression of the place. So before we do that, though, I want to go ahead and give you the episode, at least the first 20 minutes that was saved. And then I'll jump back on here and I'll tell you a little bit about the conference, and I'm sure we're going to discuss it again in future, even probably in the next episodes or so. But enjoy, and I'm really sorry what happened here, but again, this stuff will happen and does, and unfortunately with a non-scripted show, there's no way to just go back and do it over the same way twice, you know what I mean? So rather than try to fake our way through an episode like that, we'd rather just throw something in here, explain to you guys what happened, and just move on from it. So we really appreciate all of the folks downloading and playing the show, and the number of you is staggering. We were not ready for this kind of volume, but kind of puts a little pressure on. You know what I mean? So yeah, without further ado, here is the episode, the funny half of the episode. So enjoy. Hope you get a laugh.
Welcome to the Kentucky X-Files, Season 2, with your hosts Dennis Mays, Tyler Stewart, and Josh Gibbs. Don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts, so you never miss an episode. Now, on to our show.
It was coming towards me. Just crouched down. For me, at first, I thought it was just a footage thing.
I thought it was a bear. You can tell the difference between like a small or spindly leg creature and something with a larger foot. And it was big, whatever it was. It ran straight down at us and it just stopped. And it was pitch black. Couldn't see it.
And most of these witnesses that have come close to these things could have been killed.
It was beating on the side of the house. I guess it hit the side of the house as it went by.
Now, when it stood up, that's when I knew it was a strong
Right, like I needed someone to have pure faith in a higher power at that moment, and nobody fucking did.
Welcome back, guys, to the Kentucky X-Files.
Oh, that's so weird. That was so weird. Did it throw you off too? Because you were leaning in to do it.
Yeah, I was about to do it. It's
God.
actually my thing. Like, I feel like that's the only thing I have on this show. So
I just pulled the rug out from under it.
yeah, I feel like I have no value anymore.
Oh my God! You're basing your self value off of the intro?
Yes,
But
totally.
It's the second intro. Catherine does the first one.
I'm sorry, it's the only thing I got.
You're doing the follow up intro.
Sorry, it's just the thing I
Okay.
got.
No, well, you do the intro twice next episode. Do the outro. Be like, you are now leaving.
Yeah.
I'm good.
If you think about it, though, Josh used to intro
Midweek.
and then we haven't done that. So I don't intro shit. At
everybody
all.
loves
Like,
you.
I
are-
never intro
no,
anything.
You play Valhalla Redux.
But,
That's our theme song.
it's true, but I don't like. I mean, I could be anybody. That could be anybody.
But no, that's you though.
I'm just nobody knows that.
Everybody does.
No,
They do that now. Yeah. I let the
I'm
proverbial
gonna
cat out
edit
of the
this
bag.
out.
No, you're
No,
not.
I'm not.
You've never once edited anything out you've ever said you were going to.
That's why I like saying it. That's my catchphrase.
If you guys out there listening can't tell, we're finally back in the garage together. This is what happens when we get together.
That was funny. I'm sorry. I just hacked mutinous phlegm.
Mutinous?
Yeah, it was committing mutiny.
Is it doing karate in the corner over there now?
How do you like if it's a mutant? How do you say that? Mutageous? Mutageous?
Mut-
Whoa.
I don't even
I
know what
wouldn't-
the fuck's going on.
I mean, I guess it would be mutageous if it was a mutant. It would make you become mutant as well.
Mutant. Oh my God. Listeners, help. What is the word I'm looking for? I mean, mutinous phlegm is pretty cool, though.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's phlegm, but it's... Okay, you know what? I'm sorry.
Is it mutated or is it performing mutiny?
That's what I'm saying. One phlegm in there was not happy with how things were going.
So
See, okay. Here we
it
go.
declared mutiny.
Welcome back, guys, to the Kentucky. So, you guys want to know my super secret, awesome surprise?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I went to Frankfurt Tuesday. And I'm going to do a shout out right now. To somebody in Frankfurt who was a fan of the show.
Really?
Named Jerry. And Jerry, I promised you I would do this. Huge shout out to you, buddy. I was so caught off guard that the dude literally... Okay, Jerry works at a liquor store. Okay, I'm not going to say which, so people out there don't go swarming Jerry. He is a good-looking guy, so ladies, you'll find him. Anyway, I go in there and I'm working. I got my earbud in. We start bullshitting, this thing, whatever. I ask him, what do you listen to? Because he's sitting there with an earbud in. We're earbud bros, ear bros,
Right?
bud bros. That sounds weird.
But
anyway.
my God, we're going down another rabbit hole.
So anyway, he's like, I listen to a lot of podcasts and stuff. And I'm like, cool, I was like, I actually do one. He's like, oh, no way. What's your podcast? And I'm like, it's, I always feel kind of weird when it comes to that question because I'm like, oh, yeah. I mean, it's the X-Files. What is it? So I got to go, And I'm like, it's the Kentucky X-Files. And he's like, get the fuck out of here. And I'm like, what? What do you mean? He's like, Kentucky X-Files. The Kentucky X-Files. I'm like, yeah. He's like, dude, I was just listening to you guys. That's you? I'm like, yeah, I'm Denny. He's like, holy shit. Nuh-uh. He's like, get the fuck out of here. Like, are you serious right now? I'm like, yeah. He's like, this feels like I'm being punked. And I was like, dude, it feels like I'm being punked.
Right.
Because you actually are like, really? And he's like, dude, I literally just listened to the episode about the fire. And I'm like, wow. So you really are like, oh, really? And he's like, yeah, dude. He's like, sometimes I don't catch the episode right when it drops. He's like, but it's always in my plays for the week. And I'm like, I really want to hug you right now, Jerry. And it got awkward. You know, that's when
Right.
it went downhill. He didn't want me around anymore. No. So, yeah, Jerry, that made my whole week. And it was really, really difficult not to spill the beans on this until right now.
That's so awesome.
But I wanted to see the guys get excited to hear about it. I didn't want to just tell them over text. And,
Well, yeah,
you know,
it's fun. Like it's showing a little bit that we're out there now. We're getting.
Jerry had some really, really cool insights that I would like to share.
Hell yeah.
The insights that he well, his opinions, I'll say, were different than what we're normally used to getting on the show.
Mhm.
And I think I understand now what he's talking about. We're an unexplained podcast of three guys in Kentucky talking about weird shit, right? Okay, but the way he puts it is, we belong to Kentucky, though. We
Yeah.
are Kentucky's little podcast that talks about weird shit. So there's a little bit of a pride that's going into that. Is all of our Kentucky listeners, we're theirs. You know what I mean? Like,
I like that.
We're-
It's a little romance. In
it's
it.
like we're a family of
Yeah.
of Kentuckians that are interested in this stuff, but there's a statewide, like, kind of a pride that goes with that. And I was sitting there listening to it, dude, and I'm like, I won't deny that actually kind of got me a little bit, you know, hit me in the feels a little bit. I'm like, wow, really? Like, do you really feel that way? He's like, oh, dude, he's like, it's really cool that we have our own thing, you know, like, it's you guys. He's like, so it's fun to listen to. He's like, and then a lot of the times you guys, he's like, you'll joke, you'll talk, you know, you'll laugh. He's like, and then another episode, it's serious. He's like, so you guys react accordingly to what's going on. And I'm like, yeah, well, I mean, it's because we're not scripted. We just do what we do. He's like, but it's cool that it's our thing. You know, it's Kentucky's X-Files. You know?
Okay, I'm enjoying that.
Yeah.
He's saying it's our thing.
Yeah.
That's dude.
That's the part
no
where
matter
I was like,
what,
it hit me in
Right.
the feels, dude.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh
Yeah.
my God, thank you.
I'm just saying, like, I've been wanting to coin this so much, and I've been trying to say is join the campfire, and he is joining the campfire.
Yeah.
That's what
There's-
Kentucky's X-Files is all
I
about.
feel like I entered it wrong. I should have came in with "Welcome back to your Kentucky X-Files."
I think, if
That's
I'm being
fantastic.
honest,
I love
guys,
it.
I think that it needs to be that from now on. In all honesty, it needs
Yeah.
to be your Kentucky X-Files because it really is theirs now. It's not just us here. They're part of the campfire. You wanted everybody to gather around the campfire, Tyler.
Yes.
Now you got to accept that there's a lot of people out there at the campfire.
We're
now.
going to need a bigger fire.
We are going to need a bigger campfire.
Need a lot more beer.
That's what I was saying the other day. Could you imagine doing a Kentucky X-Files meetup one day?
Right.
And it's literally an evening in the fall with a bunch of little fires and everybody sitting around bullshitting. And talking about weird stuff and sharing experiences.
I want it to be. I want to have a KYX festival
That'd be
eventually.
awesome.
Like
Yeah.
eventually, like that would be sick. And I love that whole thing about little fires all over. Like have like a campground kind of set, like thing where
Yeah.
everybody, we're all together, but we're all sharing our experiences, our opinions, or our theories on certain matters of these things. And dude,
My idea is right there with yours. There's one change that I would make to it, though. You'd have your fires and your people gathered around, gathered to the fires, but up here in the front is a little stage with a table and 3 chairs, 1/4 empty chair, and some microphones. Come on up. Who wants to come up? You come up. Let's talk. Everybody's in the conversation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everybody gathers around. We talk it out. We record it. You know what I mean? We keep a record of it. You know, it would be literally a meet and greet, an evening, you know, with us, you know, to talk about cosmic questions, man. You know, Jerry blew me away. It was amazing.
Right.
I did not expect that.
That's, I mean, Jerry, I wasn't there for it, but I want you to know, man, that your excitement is I can't even describe what that makes me feel. 'Cause
It's amazing.
I'm
Yeah.
living it vicariously through Denny here. But man, that's
Very
awesome.
surreal.
That's the second person that has been like, "Oh my God, you know the Kentucky X Files or whatever."
Yeah.
You know,
I was like, wow, man,
That's so
this little
cool.
thing
I-
is really getting out there. You know?
Yeah, I'm just like wholeheartedly. I'm just glad that people are you're enjoying it, and it's
Yeah.
and to say that we're it's theirs.
Yeah.
We're yours and stuff. Like, I'm glad that Kentuckians are saying that we're we're representing the
Yeah.
the great state of Kentucky.
You know, there was an old fellow that I met working out of town up north one time, and he said something to me, and I don't know if it's an old saying or where it comes from because I've never bothered to look it up, unfortunately. But it was a saying that stuck in my head nonetheless. We were talking, and he asked where I was from because obviously I don't sound like I'm from northern Ohio somewhere, you know. And he said, you know, every single Kentuckian I've ever met is either going home or talking about going home.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Absolutely.
I was like, yeah, you're absolutely right, dude.
I not to like because I feel like we're getting a little gushy on this but no matter what, this is my home.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love this place. I can't fathom being anywhere else.
Right.
I've always made the joke because I enjoy the winter. I would have moved to Alaska and stuff,
Right.
but
Wrestling
I
polar
don't know.
bears.
yeah. But I just love this. I love the state.
Yeah.
I think the one thing that got me was that obviously the meet and Jerry was an honor. That was really, really cool.
That is so cool.
I was like, that was surreal, and I'm still processing it.
Right. Like, I know we're recording right now, but I want you to tell the story again because I want to live that story again. That's awesome. We had a fan.
We have a fan.
It's not words on a page, you know. It's like
Yeah.
a real live human
It's
being.
a human being who was like, you know, has us in their playlist and,
Right.
and keeps us in their rotation, and that's
Yeah.
really cool. But I noticed something. I did a little bit of a thought experiment over the last few weeks. Is anytime I had the chance, I literally sprung cosmic questions on people out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And I wanted to see how people would react. So randomly, throughout the deliveries, I would talk to people. If we were in an older building, I'd say something like, "So you know, you got some ghost stories here," and almost all of them are like, "Oh yeah." And then I noticed that after I, basically invite, like, sometimes it's hard to talk about this stuff,
Yeah.
but sometimes when you're invited to, it's easy. So I'll listen.
I mean, like you said, like when you tell people you're on a podcast and they go, "Yeah, what is it?" It's kind of like Kentucky X Files. You know, like you're gonna think
Yeah.
I'm a lunatic or weird, or you're gonna
Yeah.
read way too much into what it is. You know.
Yeah.
You know, like some of the guys at work were like joking with me one day. They're like, "You going Sasquatch hunting this weekend?"
Yeah,
Oh my
Everybody-
god, my dad says that all the time. He's
Yeah,
like,
you
"Did you
wanna
catch
find
Sasquatch?"
You hear it all the time.
Yeah.
It's
And
like,
it's like, guys, I'm not a Sasquatch hunter.
yeah.
I'm on an X Files podcast. We talk about everything that is unexplained. You know,
The thing I get is
sorry, is that, like Sasquatch is a very big topic to talk about.
Sure.
it has been for years.
Yeah.
The big one that I get lately is, man, if you go ghost hunting, you let me know. I want to go along. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not
I'm not going ghost.
not going ghost hunting though.
There's a chance, but
We did
there's-
one time.
Yeah, I mean, we could, but that's happenstance. I mean,
Yeah.
if it would have been like, hey, there's Sasquatch activity out at my farm, you guys want to come out? Fuck yeah. Why not? Let's go see. Let's go check
Right.
it out. You know, it's kind of like a circumstantial. You know, we talk about unexplained stuff. If you have a place that's unexplained and want us to come out, you know, within reason, there's some places that we've been invited to that are far away and the logistics is still being worked out, but you know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's just happenstance.
All right, so right about there is where the recorder apparently stopped recording us. And it sucks, and we're pissed. We had some interesting discussions involving the mind of serial killers and such like that, and it really sucks. We've actually lost a few episodes like this,
and we're thinking that it might be time to upgrade our setup. So sorry about that, guys. I feel really bad. I know the other guys do too. Everybody's bummed because we thought it was going to be a great show for this Thursday. You know what I mean? But never fear, we will have something exciting and fun for Monday morning, like always. I do want to tell you a little bit about going to the Bigfoot presentation that was put on by the Ohio Night Stalkers. So if you get a chance, go check them out on Facebook. Tell them the Kentucky X-Files sent you. First impressions. We showed up to Boone County Public Library, and we went in, and as soon as we went in, everybody kept ushering people to go upstairs to the presentation room. And it's a beautiful library, by the way. Very, very nice building, and the people there are super nice. And we get up there and didn't know what to expect. And to be honest with you, I've never been to any kind of presentation like this, so it was, kind of exciting. Anyway, my wife and I and Tyler, we walk upstairs, go into this huge presentation room with a stage and lights and whatnot, and the room was packed with people. And I had to kind of take it in for a second. Like, look at all these folks. I mean, there was all kinds of people there for this particular thing. The Night Stalkers, Mike and Mike, they had a table with footprint castings, which were super, super impressive. Got to check those out a little bit. They had pictures, audio. Their audio was super impressive, and they began to tell some of their stories. And I'm not willing to pirate their stories, so if you want to know them, you're gonna have to check them out on YouTube. But I will say this though, my impressions of the show, of the presentation, was it was a bunch of people that were interested in a topic that showed up, and most of them are strangers. And everybody there was embracing each other and welcoming each other. And I was immediately impressed. It was very, very interesting to see all these people gathered up to talk about this, to learn about this subject, and to hear the stories. And then when the Q&As happened, that was when I got super, super interested. After they presented their evidence, the audio and things that had happened to them, and told their stories, and showed us pictures and stuff of where they were at, we the audience got to ask questions, and I introduced myself. I'm Denny from the Kentucky X-Files podcast, and I started asking questions. And a really, really interesting discussion pretty much erupted out of that, talking about everything from the estimated, the estimates given for the breeding population of the Sasquatch in North America and the continent. And I told him I had a hard time believing there was 40,000 something, creatures. I just think it's too much. It went from that to discussion about the Dogman. I presented a little bit of an alternative look at the Dogman, comparing it with the aberrant kangaroo. And even a lady who was in the audience, one row in front of me, said that she had seen a Dogman and actually turned and said, I'd never thought of that. It could have been something like that. And I had to reiterate to her, like, hey, look, I'm not telling you that you didn't see something. I'm trying to get to the same finish line as you. I want to know what it was, and there's, some kind of explanation for it. And I will say that I walked out of there with a much better idea of the real community, the real people that want to go and learn about this stuff and ask these questions. The Ohio Night Stalkers were very welcoming. We hung out with them after the conference and chit chatted for a while and exchanged some information back and forth. And those guys were really, really nice, and you could tell that they were passionate and that they were out for knowledge. You know what I mean? They wanted to know. They want to know, so they're going for it. So yeah, this is really weird riffing without the guys. I'm not going to keep going too long though. I just wanted to touch base with you guys, let you know what happened, and explain a little bit. And I definitely want to bring this topic up, maybe on our next episode, and see if Tyler has any insights about what happened with him. And just like we said in this episode, this is your show, and we appreciate you. So, you guys out there, you take care of each other. We are literally all each other has. So, without further ado, I'm going to sign off for your Kentucky X Files. We'll see you Monday morning.